Hi guys, welcome to Annie's Math and Science. Wow, it's a greatest achievement for UAE. Hope on its way to Mars, the red planet. I'm happily posting this video as I am also a resident of UAE. Hats off to Emirati scientists. UAE's first interplanetary mission had successfully took off from the southern tip of Japan, sending a car-sized probe bound for the red planet Mars. This is the country's most ambitious space project aimed at studying the weather on Mars as it evolves throughout the planet's year. Hope is the name of the spacecraft sent by UAE, and it was lifted off on board by a Japanese Mitsubishi Heavy Industries H-2A rocket, which was launched from Japanese Tanegashima Space Center at 6:58 a.m. at the launch site on July 19, 2020. The probe will be traveling through deep space for 7 months, periodically correcting its course with a series of engine burns. It is expected to reach the Mars sometime in February 2021. It will attempt to put itself into an elongated orbit around Mars, where it will analyze the atmosphere and climate throughout the course of each Martian day. It will be placed into an orbit between 20,000 and 43,000 kilometers above the surface of Mars. It will complete an orbit once every 55 hours, inclined at an angle of 25 degrees, meaning different parts of Mars will rotate beneath the spacecraft. What's the aim of UAE's launching Mars mission? While there are scientific goals, this Emirates Mars mission has a broader purpose too. It is designed to show that the UAE wants to embrace science and knowledge in its economy. After this launch, UAE got a hope to launch to the moon for the first time in 2020. Also, the country has even talked to send humans to Mars in the future. Features of HOPE. It contains 1.5-meter high-gain antenna to communicate with mission control on Earth. It has 600-watt solar panels for charging batteries that is enough power to run around 20 laptops. The dimension is 2.37 meters in width and 2.9 meters in height. The weight mass is equal to 1,500 kg. It has star trackers, which is an optical device that measures the position of stars using photocells or a camera. It may also include a processor to identify stars by comparing the pattern of observed stars with the known pattern of stars in the sky. It also contains 8 5-Newton RCS thrusters. RCS means a reaction control system, which is a spacecraft system that uses thrusters to provide attitude control, which means angular position by rolling, pitching or yawing, and sometimes propulsion. It is also used in station keeping and maneuvering control in space. It has an aluminum honeycomb structure with composite face sheet. It is also able to store 20 gigabytes of data. It has 6 120 Newton delta V thrusters. It helps to reduce the speed of the spacecraft from over 121,000 km per hour to approximately 18,000 km per hour by burning the fuel and firing the delta V thrusters. Nearly half of the fuel is spent to slow the HOPE probe down enough to capture Mars orbit. It also has Emirates Mars Infrared Spectrometer (EMIRS) to measure global thermostructure and abundances of water ice, water vapor and dust in Mars atmosphere. It has Emirates Mars Ultraviolet Spectrometer, which is EMUS, to measure global characteristics and variability of thermosphere and hydrogen and oxygen coronae. It also has Emirates Exploration Imager EXI to measure properties of water ice and dust, aerosols, and abundance of ozone in Mars atmosphere. It has a connectivity of 1.6 Mbps, which means megabits per second at minimum Earth-Mars distance. Now we can see the functions of HOPE. HOPE had 3 instruments on board to carry out a number of different scientific goals. It will study hydrogen and oxygen in the Martian atmosphere and help to work out how Mars lost its atmosphere over the last few billion years. HOPE will act as a Martian weather satellite, providing updates on dust storms and ice clouds on Mars, monitoring the weather at different times of the day and tracking seasonal changes. The science mission of the spacecraft is planned to begin in May 2021 after the instruments have been checked out. It also has a camera on board to take images of the surface and send them to Earth. The mission will last for 2 Earth years equal to 1 Martian year. This is actually minimum, but it can last up to 4 Earth years, which is 2 Martian years. It depends on how the spacecraft fares in its time on Mars. Now we can see what is the red planet, where is it located. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun and the second smallest planet in the solar system, which means only larger than Mercury. It carries the name of the Roman god of war and so often referred to as the red planet. It refers to the effect of the iron oxide prevalent on Mars' surface, which gives it a reddish appearance, distinctive among the astronomical bodies visible to the naked eye. Mars is a terrestrial planet with a thin atmosphere with surface features reminiscent of the impact craters of the Moon and the valleys, deserts and polar ice caps of Earth. The days and seasons are comparable to those of Earth because the rotational period as well as the tilt of the rotational axis related to the ecliptic plane are similar. Mars is the site of Olympus Mons, the largest volcano and highest known mountain on any planet in the solar system, and of Valles Marineris, one of the largest canyons in the solar system. Following UAE, China sent its Tianwen-1 mission to Mars on 23rd July, which includes both an orbiter and rover. At the end of July, both of these missions will be joined by NASA's Perseverance rover. All three missions will arrive at Mars in February 2021, but it is HOPE that is leading the Armada. This is a great moment not only for UAE nationals but also for the international partners that are involved in exploring space. China's spacecraft was launched from Hainan Island in South China on 23rd July, which is also on the way to Mars. The mission named Tianwen-1, which means questions to heaven, is the country's first attempt to land on the red planet. 5000 kg spacecraft, which contains a lander, orbiter, and rover, blasted off from the Wenchang Satellite Launch Center aboard a Chinese Long March 5 rocket at 12:41 p.m. local time. After 36 minutes, the craft was successfully put on its trajectory towards Mars. This is the NASA's Perseverance rover. NASA will launch its Mars 2020 rover, which was $2.4 billion, which will stash rock samples that will be returned to Earth in a future mission and will also feature a small detachable helicopter drone. Wow, this is the structure of Perseverance rover. NASA plans to send a rover to Mars to collect and store tubes of rock and dirt. The plutonium-powered vehicle will have 7 instruments and may also carry a helicopter. RIMFAX is the name of a ground-penetrating radar to explore beneath the surface. The plutonium power source supplies electricity to the rover. SuperCam is a laser blaster that can investigate chemical compositions of Martian rocks and dirt from a distance. MAST CAM-Z is a zoomable panoramic camera which gives you wide area coverage with just one camera. MEDA is the rover's weather station to measure temperature, wind speed, and other meteorological factors. It is expected that the rover may carry a helicopter that would fly through the thin atmosphere and scout out the path ahead. Sherlock is an ultraviolet spectrometer to study mineralogy and chemistry. The name of its camera is called Watson. Spectrometer is a device for measuring wavelengths of light over a wide range of electromagnetic spectrum. It is widely used for spectroscopic analysis of sample materials. The instant light from the light source, which means sunlight, can be transmitted, absorbed, or reflected through the sample. The changes occurred during the interaction of incident light with the sample reveals the sample characteristics. Mineralogy means the scientific study of the chemistry, crystal structure, and physical properties of minerals and mineralized artifacts. Hope Probe is the UAE's latest and most ambitious step in its burgeoning space sector. UAE has launched satellites before in 2009 and 2013, but they were developed with South Korean partners. The country founded its space agency in 2014 and has set ambitious targets, including a colony on the Martian surface by 2117. The space program is acting as a catalyst for the country's STEM sector, which means science, technology, engineering, and math. Most Mars mission takes more than 10 years, but UAE scientists had just 6 years to carry out this project, which is awesome. I heartily congratulate the Mars mission team for their effort, sacrifice, and dedication to make this mission successful. Keep rocking, and I wish you best of luck for your future mission. It was a great achievement for UAE, and it was happened only by the hard work and dedication paid off by the UAE scientists. UAE got a credit for the first Arab country launching a spacecraft to Mars. Bravo! Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and share it. Thanks.